All right, I figured it out. All right, sorry guys, let's go. Let's get to it. So the very first thing that we're going to have to deal with or contend with, obviously, is going to be the GDP and some of the data that came out. Now that the market's going to figure out what it's going to do, we're finally going to get a sense of how this is going to play out this morning. I think we're already seeing that, where you're starting to get some love back into the market. I think you have to be super, super careful this morning. When you start going through these dates, to me, I just think you need to be careful. But that's going to be up to everybody what they want to do. Nvidia absolutely unequivocally crushed. There's no way to say it. There's no other way to describe it. They absolutely knocked the cover off the ball. The question is, what really happens now? And pardon me, from my standpoint, I think you really have to watch the open here and kind of figure that out and figure out what you want to do with it right from here. And I think that's really important. I don't think it's a simple answer as to what you should be doing here or how you should be acting with this. I think it's going to be pretty freaking wild. It usually is pretty wild, and so you want to watch how it plays and then kind of go from there. My sense of it is that you're going to be all over the place. So for me, what that means is I tend to get out of the way on days like today. Just lock in what I have and go from there. And, just really reevaluate what's going on. That's what tends to work for me. Everybody's going to trade this differently. They absolutely unequivocally crushed. And there's really no other response to it but to say that they crushed. Like, there's nothing else more to say. If they didn't have that write-off, they beat by billions. So I've been saying it for some time. There is no AI without Nvidia. I mean, there just isn't. And I don't know why people keep saying, well, what about AMD? No. So you need Nvidia. But the question really that's going to boil down for everybody is going to be, does it make sense? In other words, does it make sense for people to chase this? And I'm not sure that it does. You guys are going to have to make your own decision on that. But I would just look at what the market's doing. And I think that's really where to go with this. So if I take a look at the ES, for example, you're not really lighting the world on fire. Like, you stopped at a key level because of, some GDP numbers, and cool, that's great. But are you really going anywhere? Did you really go, have you gone anywhere since this happened, right? And I think if you look at it from that standpoint, you're going to feel a little differently. Like, if you really looked at this and said, well, where did we go? So from tariffs, like, where did we really go? We came back to that Wednesday level. So wait a minute, all that, and I'm back to Wednesday at 9:30. Like, yeah, you're back to yesterday's open. Well, that's not really overly exciting, is it? So I think that you need to take a look at it from that standpoint. And I think that I really think that that's how you need to view this. So if I could tell you anything, I would be super careful today. Like, I've seen days like this just crush people, where they're all giddy, hair to the wind. We're back. You're not back. You've been back, and now you're seeing proof of why you've been back. But these are the levels that I would use that I think are really important for anybody to look at and then watch these breaks and go from there. You're talking to somebody that's like really, really long, and I've been really long. That's why I wanted to get that out on the Nvidia yesterday, and I think that we did a really good job there. And I personally think that you need to be really freaking careful. And I don't really know how else to say it except the way that I'm saying it. Like, I was trying to figure out the right way to word this, but I've just seen this so many times where people have like rush into this stuff. And if you look at what happened from here on the NQ over from 7 o'clock on, you've had nothing but net sellers. Like, everybody's down. anyone that bought this is down. And here, I'll show you this, and then you can go show your friends, because they'll tell you that, RSI doesn't work. But, you'll just show them this chart. You don't even have to say anything. Here's the higher high, here's the lower high, and here's the RSI poking over, and then you can see it rolling over. You are oversold, and that is starting to show in the chart. The question is, how much does something like that, show up today? And, I don't have an answer to that yet. So for me, once again, the best thing that I can do is have patience, like real freaking patience today. And I can't stress that enough. I had a really good night. I've got a lot of stuff still on, but I think you need to be careful here. I think you need to be careful of like, oh no, the AI trade's back on and I'm going to buy this stuff and I'm going to hold it forever. Are you? Like right now? Like where were you in, April 8th? So, and I think that's really where my head is with this, with people. Like I've watched this crap happen so many times in my life. So like nobody wants to buy it down here, right? It's the end of the world. The sky's falling. Up here, we all need it. We got to buy more. We have to buy more AVGL. And then they don't wonder why they get their butts kicked and why it gap fills 3 days later. Because there's nobody left. Because you got to realize, like, see, when you're buying stuff, there's 3 levels to buying. There's corporations, institutions, and retail. And retail buying is it's the fastest, but it's also the most frivolous. So just be aware of that. I am going to take a lot of questions today because I haven't been doing that lately. But if you took one thing, if you take one thing from this, I covered a lot. I had a lot on last night. I covered a lot, like a lot. And I shorted this morning. I already started shorting the NASDAQ. So just so you know where my head is, and I'm up on everything. Let's just get to questions and we'll go from there. I think I'm better off doing that today for you guys. I really do. I think overall you look great. I think you need to be really careful here on getting giddy. That's what I think. It's the same thing when everybody wanted to sell. This AAP looks like an absolute utter monster. And this is a huge short position. And you had a lot of people, John, that were short these names like, let me shut this door. I've got an echo. You had a lot of people that were short these names, like against O'Reilly and AutoZone, and like they were short AAP because they were the most mismanaged, and they're setting up. So I think you have a shot for sure getting up here. I do. I think you can get up to that level, 61, 65. I do think it's doable. So yeah, 100%. 100%. I think that's doable. So I definitely want to watch that and see how that goes. There's no question about it. What else do you have here that we should look at? The SPY and the levels and what that's doing. I don't trust a damn thing here. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Like I really don't. This level has just been such a nemesis. And when I start looking at this, like here, get rid of that. And I can there's nothing about that makes me feel comfortable. Like nothing. I've already broken. So usually like this kind of stuff, you see how I broke here? And you're trying your butt off to flip it. But you're not flipping it. So it is what it is. Like, and people like, God, he's not happy. I'm very happy. I had a great day and I had a great evening and I'm having an even better morning. But there comes a time where you have to look at this and go, okay, well, who's left? Like who's left to buy, right? All the people, it's funny. I was talking to one of the guys in the community today and he said something and it really hit home where he's like, and we were talking about the people that got shellacked and blew out their 401ks here. And now they're not back in yet. And now they're going to see Nvidia's earnings. And what are they going to do? They're going to get back in. Well, who's left after that? Like, so you start thinking about it from that standpoint. Now, Nvidia has a short position on it, the biggest short position it's ever had. But what's the catalyst to get us through all this. Because I have more uncertainty today than I've ever had. Trump didn't come out and say, oh, the court said this, so, we're going to back off. No, they called him a taco yesterday, and he pretty much lost it. And so you think he's going to go away now? And then on top of that, look what they're doing to the dollar this morning. So, I think there's a lot going on out here, and I'd be really remiss on that. The other thing is, if the tariffs went away, the bond market's hosed because we just increased our deficit. So this is going to take some time. I'm not saying what he's doing is right or wrong. It's got nothing to do with that. But the idea that this is crystal clear on what you should be doing, yeah, this is far, far from crystal clear to me. This is, CYA, because, this is one of those days where everyone's like, I can't believe we're flat on the day. Like, I can't believe that. I'm just telling you where my head is. And I'm not telling you I'm right, John, because I don't know. Nobody knows. No one has a crystal ball. And I'm always open to hear other people's opinions. I learned that after 25 years of doing this and get my teeth kicked in. For the people that asked about the bonding, I'll bring it back. I got somebody reconfiguring all the computers and the new monitors and the whole system. So to change the sound, to make the sound better, everything. So it might be a little bit, maybe another week, but whatever. But yeah, that's why. But if I look at something like this, it's definitely an issue. Like, I can't get over key levels, and it's a problem. And I wouldn't sleep on it. I wouldn't convince yourself everything's rosy and just buy the dip. Like, that's not where my head would be. My head is, what do I need to protect this morning so I can fight again another day? That's where my head is right now. John, I think it's very safe to say that people like you and I will never be able to be as cool as Jensen is in that jacket. I have a leather jacket. I put it on. I look like a jackass. So let's go. I do think it's on when it breaks. I don't think today's our day. Remember, AVGO, like, I'm not going to go through it all. I'll do it Saturday. But remember, AVGO marks the top of the NASDAQ. It always has. So, and that's next week. Hello from Tokyo. Hello from Miami. What's up, Jacob? Let's do a weekly chart. You're going to make me look at futures on silver. I feel like I'm a freaking vampire. Is that what you want to do? You want to do SIL? That's what you want? The silver futures, the micro silver? Let's do the miners. Do it that way. I say it. I'm not touching it, man. I say it. I actually think gold makes so much more sense today. I'm surprised gold's not up a lot more. The way this keeps going, I feel like I'm going to turn myself into a freaking gold bug. Like, I was thinking about it last night, and I actually, it's funny, you've been doing this so long, but like, I was thinking about this last night, and you start having dreams like, how are they going to screw me? And it started to hit me like, oh no, the tariffs, they're going to be here, but this is just going to go on forever. Like, it's going to be court after court and tariff and this and that, because he doesn't want to go through. And I'm not knocking it, but I'm just saying, because we're not going to go through all the major things. We're not going to go through everything. Give me 1 second. Let me just put this out there and get this done. But I think you have to think about it like that, like between gold or silver. Like, Jacob, I think that this can get kind of, I really think this can get kind of out of hand, personally. That's my sense of it, but we'll see. We'll see. I do think it can get out of hand. APP. I think this looks great. I think that this is just another example of, I said this when that guy put that video out, like the Fuzzy Panda video. Like, it's just ridiculous. Like, this guy puts like a 2-minute video out and people just destroy the stock. And now they're like trapped in a short. I think it was Hindenburg or Kurzweil. I forget which one did it, but someone else put a short report out on it, and it was really very well done, like really well done. So I do think that maybe there was something to it, but the idea, the catalyst behind it was that Meta needed to cut them out. And Meta's not cutting out anybody that brings them revenue. Like, they're just not. So it never really made a lot of sense. Clearly, and again, let's just do it because you can see it. Oh, look, there's a positive divergence. And then we didn't go lower. So we can show that one as well. Anyway, but what's super important to me about stuff like this is, yeah, man, when this stuff can get moving, because all the shorts, all these people that are short these names, they're kind of stuck. Like, I actually think the most short list has the most potential today, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm not chasing anything that's up 10 points. I'm on the other side of this whole market right now. So I'm a little apprehensive. I had a bunch of stuff I carried overnight, like Tesla, MSTR, CVNA, like those kinds of names, because I thought like you'd see this big short squeeze today on the tariff news. I'm out of all of it, man. And I always look at that. Like, I always look like where I got out, like at 5:30, 6 o'clock this morning versus where they are now. And I got out of everything. Everything I got out of higher, like everything. So whenever I see stuff like that, the brakes just go on. Like, if I can get out higher here than where I'm at right now, for me, the brakes go on. So when I look at something like this, yeah, I think you can get squeezed. But I'd like to see that fade first and then go from there. That's really where my head is with it. But we'll see. Good morning, Druck. Big buy. Did he? I think that what he's going to do is he's just going to keep doing what he's doing. I mean, I don't view what he's doing as good or bad. I just view him doing it his way, and he's just pulling levers. Right? I don't really have an issue with it. I have an issue with him trying to tell corporations what to do. If I had any issue with anything, I don't like that. You're telling corporations what to do. Like, oh, don't do this, don't do business with them, don't do this, don't do that, don't pass the costs on. Like, we don't have an emperor. Like, that's not why you were appointed. Like, you don't tell Walmart what to do with their pricing. Like, so I don't know. Some of that stuff it's like, stay in your lane, man. Fix things. That's why you were voted in. And I don't want to get into it. I really don't. But I'm really over it. Sending letters to companies, do this, don't do that. Like, I understand why people are buying Taiwan Semi. I don't know that you have to buy it today. I didn't know that Druckenmiller was buying ZIM, AVGO. I don't know that he's in those names. I don't know if you're telling me he's in the Taiwan Semi name or he's in ZIM. I own ZIM. I have no intent of ever selling it. See, what's up, Ed? Man, I hate when this thing gets super slow. I hate it. I don't know why I would buy this name. I don't know why I would do that to myself. Marvel. I like, why do I buy number 3? You know what I mean? Like, I know it's a different kind of trade than Nvidia, but why would I do this to myself? Like, why? I'm not being smart. Like, okay, this was last quarter and they couldn't figure it out. Like, why do I want to do that to myself? And I'm not saying it doesn't work. It can go up $10, but it's the same thing with like, oh, we should be buying AMD. Like, why? I did think it was funny that guy at the F1 at Monaco had no idea he was talking to like one of the most brilliant women in the world. I don't know if you saw that clip. It's kind of funny. He actually asks her if she knows how to speak English. It was actually brutal. Look it up. It was absolutely brutal. And it's got nothing on her, but like they're behind. And maybe they'll catch up to Nvidia, maybe, but like why bother? Well, I don't know. Maybe just own the winner. It's like watching a horse race and going, oh, this one's going to win. This is the winning horse. Okay, I'm going to go put money on this other one to show. Oh, okay. Like you can't hang out with those people. Who wants to go to the Preakness and then hear about their guy cheering because their horse came in third? It's exhausting. The whole thing's exhausting. VRT, I don't know. I think you're better off with that focus on nuclear, don't you? Like if you had to play these two names, right? Which name makes more sense? Do you want to buy number one or you want to buy number two? Right? Same space. One of them's at all-time highs. Yeah, I actually like the Coreweave here. I'm really surprised that I'm only up $3. I actually think that if you had to pick like, hey, where's the dark horse off the open? That's really where your head should be with it. Like, hey, where's the dark horse off the open? Like, yeah, that might be it. Because I don't think people understood how much Coreweave benefited from last night. I really don't think people got that last night. AVGO should crush. AVGO should absolutely crush. My concern is I have this trade that we did in the room from back in the day from in here when they came out and said, hey, we're going to buy $10 billion of our own stock back because this is stupid. I'm like, oh, that sounds like a good idea. Maybe I'll do that trade with you. And so I look at it now and I'm up like 70, $80. And how much is left? How much is left? And that's really that's the rub. And I don't have an answer to that just yet. I don't know. I think you got to be super, super, super careful this morning. Like I can't say it enough, man. So funny. What's up, Jonah? Well, CEO is worried about his pay package because that's all they care about, right? It's 8:55 already. Jesus. I wouldn't touch this. I don't think it's worth your money, long or short, right here. I really don't. Good morning from Tampa. Tampa's beautiful. That was one of the areas I looked at a lot. Tampa's so pretty. Such a cool town, too. It's up and coming. Big time. I think you're there. I really feel that way. Like I look at it. I always do it. I always do that, Alan, in the morning. Like if I click stuff off and I get out of stuff and then I go and look, I always want to know like where am I? Like where am I with my calls? Like, am I in the right spot? And by that I mean like, oh, I sold MSTR. Okay, is it up higher than where I sold it? No. All right, I sold Tesla. Is it higher than where I sold it? No. Like I just go through it, CVNA. Like I'm blowing this thing out at like 328. I'm at 323 this morning. So like, I always go through that. I had a bunch of TQQ I carried overnight. I'm selling it at 74.25. I'm at 72.80 because I get up at 5 o'clock like I'm, like a maniac. But it pays actually to get up that early and do these trades. So I go through it. So where am I going with this? So when I look at that kind of stuff, it just tells me like, yeah, I think that you're in that. I think you're in that. They're going to, like, here's what I think could happen. I think you could lock a bunch of crap in, and then I think you could wind up going higher. That's what I think that you could wind up doing. I think that you could lock a bunch of stuff in and then watch this actually go higher later in the day. But I think you're going to need a little pain this morning, a little pain, at least off the open, and we'll go from there. Thanks, buddy. Esnabari is a freaking monster. Agreed. I'd like to see a pullback in those today. They'd be the ones I'd be all over. This nukes, I'm just telling you, you can see it already. Like, this is the one that they're going to like anoint. Some of these others look great too. I'm not knocking it, but you can just tell. It's always something with these spaces. It's always something. What's up, KD? What's up, Daniel? I think so. I like the NBTS. We got a bunch of people playing that in the room. I don't know if today's your day. So, well, you had data. You had you had GDP, but I don't think it matters. I really don't like. I don't even bother to go through it. The market will tell me if I have to even care about it right now because of the way it moves. I'll do it real quick. GDP is negative 0.2. Who cares? We're all over the place because of the tariffs. The claims were 240, and until they get to like 280, it doesn't matter. So we have to watch macro, but it's there. Yeah, go look at all the new orders. Go look at Oracle's orders. Go look at Coreweave's orders. Like, the orders are through the roof, man. I think that it's really hard to look at this market and go, man, I really got to get involved here. And I think that people are going to look at this and go, I need to be out of the way. That's kind of where my head is. Nvidia should move on the tariffs, or I'm sorry, Apple. Let's get a little more of that caffeine. Apple should have moved on the tariffs, but they just found like 17 different ways to screw Apple again. So, it's getting old, man. But that's exactly what happened. And, there's your Apple levels. Wake me when you're here. I would put a lot of alerts on today. Today's like one of those days you want to watch the big levels and kind of go from there. Well, that's kind of where I'm at. If I'm trading money right now, I'm looking at this and going, I personally am looking at this and going, what do I have to do here? Like, what do I really have to do? I need to lock in some gains and then reevaluate. That's if I'm a fund right now, like, I have gains, right? Because you're long the market. I would be looking at this and going, I got to get out of the way. I got to lock stuff in and go from there. That's where my head would be. I'd watch this SNPS that no one's asked about. This is when Trump said you can't do business in China. And then they crushed it on earnings and raised guidance. So you have all these people that are short because of it. And now I would watch this one today. So pretty much. Sprott, SII. Across the right way. Yeah, it's a physical fund that's based in Canada, right? And they own commodities. He's been trading like a monster. He's been absolutely killing it, hasn't he? Right? Isn't that what this is? I'm pretty sure that's what this is. He's been slaughtering it. It's not really much to say, man. The guy's killing it. I should actually be watching this. Muddy Waters, is that who it was? Their report was actually really good. What's up, Greg? Their report was really good. Yeah, that merger must be accretive on ELF. It must be an accretive merger because they're all over it. So 100%. I think a lot of people are going to buy them, or are going to buy puts off the open. Just going through this. If there's anything I have to go through here and say. Yeah, I think it's going to be an issue. I don't think well, they just raised margins. They just took margins up. All right, I got to jump, guys. Trade to win today.